What happens when you ignore gut symptoms? Gut symptoms would be a foggy brain, feeling tired all the time, feeling like you can't think efficiently. When you're at work, you feel like you're zoned out a lot. You feel like you have a bloated stomach all the time despite eating hours ago. You feel like you can't get things done because your stomach feels bad and then your brain feels slow. So if you ignore these symptoms for a long time, like I did, it's going to accumulate over time, and your gut issues is going to get worse and worse and worse. And we don't want that, because you know what would happen? You'll start maybe getting a cold every month, every 2 months, more than you should in 1 year, okay? And on top of that, you're gonna get more lax at work. You're not gonna be as efficient at your job or business if you're an owner, okay? If you don't watch the symptoms early on and do something about those symptoms soon, then it's going to accumulate over time, and the symptoms are going to get worse and worse and worse until you're in a more severe state, meaning your gut, obviously I always believe that your gut can heal at any stage it's in, but I do think that if you want to just get ahead of the game, I would just write in your journal whenever you can after you eat, like how you feel. Even if it's like once a day, once every other day, at least you can keep track about how you're feeling, because it's all about being aware. If you're aware about, okay, I feel like I'm really slow today. What did I eat? Why do I feel slow? Why is my brain slow? Why do I still have a bloated stomach? You know, and some people chalk it up to, I have a bloated stomach because I'm fat. Or I have a bloated stomach because I ate too much. And sure, those two things could be true, but if you're bloated despite eating hours ago, and if you're bloated because something happened, like something stressful in your life happened, and the stress went into your gut, because you know how you have like a stress ball in the back of your neck, sometimes it can go to your gut, and if you already have gut issues, the stress can make it worse. So I think it's really important to watch and be aware of the gut symptoms in your body, just because you just never know how far gone you are until it's too late. When it's too late, that's when you're like, why didn't I catch this earlier? And that's how I felt about my situation. Like, I didn't know I had gut issues until my bosses kept pointing out to me at my job, like, hey, you get sick a lot. And I was known as a girl that never got sick before. So this was like a shocker for me, and then when she brought it to my realization, that's when I was aware. In my head, I'm thinking, no, I don't get sick that much. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I eat organic, whole foods. But no, I had gut issues because I was getting sick every 2 months. I felt bloated even despite eating hours ago. I was losing hair. I was getting acne again. I was confused. Very confused. And by the way, acne stems from also your gut, not only hormonal, something I didn't know until my health coach pointed it out to me. And then I saw the correlation between my gut and the acne. So what I like to do now is write in my diary what I eat every day, because it's so important to me. Like, me getting to the point where I was almost too late to realize that I had gut issues, like severe gut issues, was a shocker for me. I'm like, I can't live like this. I can't go to work, feel like I'm already exhausted, and it's already the first hour of my job. I don't want to feel like every time I eat, I can't really enjoy my food because my stomach is so bloated like a balloon. It felt horrible, you guys. And it was like the way I was eating and living my life was not sustainable. I mean, I was calling out sick a lot, and I don't want that for you. I want you to avoid that. And the only way to avoid it is to be aware almost every day of every week from now till the next few months, to see where you're at in your journey of gut health. Were you as severe as I was? And if you are in that place where it's almost too late, I don't really believe that getting yourself healed is too late. But I like to say that phrase because it puts it into perspective about how important it is to find out gut issues early on rather than later, because if you can find it early on, then you can do something about it, and it doesn't have to be a severe solution. Because if you're in a severe state, if you have a severe problem, you're gonna have to have a severe solution, in my opinion, to match that. And if you find out that you have gut issues early on, then you can combat that right away, get healed faster, and not have to do the diet or a modality for longer than you should. You know what I mean? So I think it's really important, again, to have a diary or even use your iPhone notes to write down what you're aware of, what you're eating throughout the day, of every day for that matter, and see how you feel after you eat, and see how you feel when you go to work. Are you thinking clearly? How do you feel when you wake up, when you go to sleep? Like, things like that can put yourself in a position where if I can tackle my gut issues early on, if it's progressing into a worse state than it should be, then I can just do something about it quicker, you know, instead of later on. Okay, I hope this was helpful. And with that being said, you guys, if you are struggling with pain, overall discomfort, you have a bad memory loss, you have a foggy brain, you can't think efficiently, right? When you talk to people, you can't conversate well either, you feel tired all the time, and most of all, you have a bloated stomach, then you're gonna have to watch my video down below that I created just for you about the 7 mistakes that you are making to not heal your gut. Okay? Have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.